I meant to cover this last week, folks, and never got around to it. Has anybody seen that new, what would you call it? Would you call it correspondent that they've got on this morning at the moment? Started last week, I think it was in Everyday last week. Is a Taylor Swift fan, and he's reporting on Taylor Swift every day last week before the LP came out. Did you see him at all? Unbelievable. I'm thinking to myself, what's it all about this? I've got no problems with Taylor Swift being huge, none whatsoever. No problem with her having hundreds of millions of fans. No problem with what she earns. No problem with how many albums she pushes out there and how many downloads she gets. None whatsoever. In fact, I've praised the girl a couple of times on here for how generous she is to various people she meets in everyday life, and those that work and that drive her around and feed her and everything else, and those that work with her throughout a recent American tour. Absolutely fantastic young lady. No problems with her at all. But why they need a correspondent on this morning to report on her every day of the week is beyond me. It's crazy. What's more crazy is the person they brought in. They brought in a young fella, don't know who he is, an absolute balloon. I think he might be called Taylor as well, maybe spelt differently. I did see, but I don't remember. Seen him one day last week, only for a couple of minutes. They were on the top of some kind of building, an high-up building, I think it was in New York, and he's with about 5 or 6 other Taylor Swift fans, some of them male, some of them female. Most of them, I say they were male and female, they could have been anything, they weren't sure what they wanted to be, some of them. All huge fans, unbelievable. I thought to myself, I'll tell you what, there's going to be no happy grandparents there. None of them, and I mean none of them, are going to have kiddies. I thought, well, surrogate-wise they may do, but I don't know anyway, that's not my business, I don't know. All weird, just all, I know it makes me sound bad that, doesn't it? It does, but I don't mean to. They were just absolutely weird people, all of them, one and all, and I'm thinking, that's not what Taylor Swift's all about. You know, she's done some great songs, some great LPs from what I can gather. I barely know any of her songs, I don't really know what she does, but when somebody plays me a Taylor Swift song and say, that's good, you know she's good at her craft, there's no doubt about that. But it's not all weirdos that follow her. And all they've got on the TV on this morning is weirdos. They've had a week full of weirdos. And I'm thinking, why don't you just leave it alone and put some decent news on there? Unbelievable. If you've not seen him, folks, you'll no doubt see him again in the coming days, weeks or months. And I'm thinking, this morning, I'll tell you what, they are going to the dogs. They're throwing good money after bad for absolute imbeciles. They really are. When they're not employing them, they're employing them. Do you know what I mean? Unbelievable. If you've not seen him, look out for him. You'll probably want to turn the TV over when he starts talking, but give him 30 seconds before you do that, and then you can come back on here and say to me, Grumpy, I know you're grumpy, I know you're a moaning old bugger, but you were right on this score.